We don't need to advertise. So hi everybody. Let me see here. I can. Hush! I think I can turn this around. Can I turn this around? I guess it doesn't matter. You don't need to see me. Anyway, here I am in our big old mess. Okay, so like those of you who don't know, we just kind of, years ago, I decided I wanted to go back home, which is close to Holbrook, Arizona. And today, I don't, okay, this is the land. This is what we're looking at. In the middle of the desert, right? And a lot of people don't get how you can possibly garden in the desert. So right now we're looking at a situation in the world where everything is unsure, everything is unstable. I have always liked growing my own food anyway, and I started having chickens about, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Now, here's an example of a problem growing in the desert. This is an apple tree, and if you look at these old leaves, you know, the ground in the desert, usually in Arizona, consists of a lot of clay. So, and especially in my area, the water table is actually pretty high. So I can go about 100, 150 feet down, and I've got water. And that's kind of short. But here's the deal. You got to break through all that clay. And when you're digging for like a tree, you have to go through this. You go through this hard layer, but it's scoopable, right? Then the next layer is almost rock. And you've got to punch through there. You got to soak it. You got to punch. And then here, it's probably, I don't know, about 2 feet. And then all of a sudden you'll break through that to the soil that's close to the topsoil, which is softer. But we also have a lot of sand in that soil. So once you can get oil, see here, you can see the tree went through shock, basically. It went, I don't like this. But now it's going, okay, I gotcha, I'm all right. So it's putting on the new leaves. So as long as you see those new leaves starting to come out, you're going to be all right. And I have to have plants that truly enjoy not just the sun, but the heat. And a lot of plants will go through a lot of trouble from point to point. Like this one over here, she's doing better. But that is a honeysuckle. And there's always this, they're always going to go into shock. And they're going to go, I don't like this. And then they'll start bouncing back. And it does help if you talk to your plants. I know it's weird. I must be weird. Blah, blah. Here's another apple tree. This one's been in for quite a while now. It's been in for about 3 months. But you see, it's doing pretty good. So yes, you can grow apples in the desert. But anyway, you know, I'm talking about where are y'all? You're hiding. Okay, how we live in the desert. And we're looking at a point where, you know, globally, we're kind of screwed. We just don't, you know, where are we going to get food? Where are we going to, because I don't know if y'all are paying attention, we are having food shortages. And, you know, I'm trunks. Plus, I care about my neighbors. I care about my friends. And I want to know that at least we can be sustainable food-wise. And everybody goes, well, how do you do that in the desert? Well, very carefully. One is these little guys. Now, chickens are really cute. You get them when they're little, and they come in about 3 days old. These guys are 5 months old. And they are not laying yet. So that's the one thing you need to know. When you buy little chicks, for the next 6 months, you're just going to feed them. And they're ornery. This little girl thinks that she rules everything. she would be mad wrong. But she's also a camera hog. Hi, good morning. But, here they are. They've got, now one thing about birds, they drink a lot of water. So you need to make sure they always have water. It really only takes a couple of hours without water when they need it in the heat of the day, and they'll just die. And chickens are not smart. So my last batch, when I lived in Phoenix, I bought that little red feeder there, and it's hooked up to a hose, and it's constantly filling with water. But I had them on a regular system like that for way too long. So when I put that in, they apparently did not know how to drink out of it. And I had not stayed home that day. And when I got home, all my chickens were dead because they couldn't figure out the watering system. So please do always make sure. Now, I know there's a lot of things about chicken coops and blah, 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 blah. I will tell you, chickens like to roost. So as they get older, they like to sit on top of things. And we're going to redecorate this. This was just a temporary coop for them to use while they were young and before they were laying. Yeah, y'all looking at me. What are you going to do? What are you doing? What do you think you're going to do? All right, Missy. So, basically you need a box for them to fit in. When it comes down to it, you need a feeder. And of course I throw out all sorts of stuff. They get vegetables. They get, my clippings from the night before. They get cracked corn as a treat. They get worms as a treat. Now, you'll notice that in here, they got some apples yesterday, so they had some fun. If you notice in here, all these scraplings, I'm going to go through and clean this today and redo it. They love things that they can scratch, things that they can rat up. And I use, while they're laying, I use hay or straw, because what happens, and I don't put a lot in, every month I throw a little cube of it in there, and I just kind of throw it whole into their area so they can tear it up. Now, underneath all of that, because it's dead growth, considered like dead growth, what happens is you'll get little, I call them roly-polies, little bugs. And I want to promote those kind of bugs in the chicken coop. Because, are you seriously going after my toes? You just following me around. You're a big shot. I promote the bugs because they like to eat the bugs. It's good for them. And I don't eat, no, miss. She's going to bite my fingers this morning. Anyway, so you notice I've had to redo this contraption like several times because, one, it's good to have chickens near my garden because I have found that animals, because especially little birds, don't go into my garden because the big birds are here. There's this scary thing. Now, that doesn't stop the little birds from trying to steal like little goodies that I give the chickens. That's just too irresistible. But if you look in here, I have beets, I have corn, I've got some watermelon down there, mustard greens, onions, tomatoes, cantaloupe, zucchini, cauliflower. I have all of this stuff growing. All I had to do was I tilled up this area. Of course, you can see that there's sand in that ground, right? So it's good sand. It's good Ow! Hey! Little miss, what are you doing? Go ahead. Tell me. Yes. You don't want me to talk anymore. All right, go. Ow! You bit me. You're a little turkey. Yeah, when you have a head chicken, this is the lead hen. If you haven't noticed, she's the one standing up to me. She came up and bit my thigh. It hurts, but it doesn't really hurt. You're not going to go, oh my God. Didn't break any blood. Just telling me that she is annoyed and I better go get her something. This is Finnegan. Hi, Finnegan. Finnegan is my buddy. Finnegan is also my chicken watcher. Finnegan learned really early in life when his old brother Jethro taught him how to kill chickens. He found out that Mommy doesn't like him killing chickens. They busted into the chicken coop one day and Jethro taught him how to catch a chicken. Sorry about the... And, hi. How's my buddy? And, Finnegan came running across. He was just this little tiny thing. Came running across to show me his catch. And he's dragging this poor chicken by the neck. And, I didn't have the right expression. And so, from that day on, Finnegan has not fallen for that. And has protected the chickens instead. So anything that comes near the chickens, he gets very upset and runs them off because those are Mommy's and he's a good boy. So whoever said anything bad about a pit bull, hey buddy, say hello. Okay. They're excellent protectors of chickens, and he's just a good dog. So whatever, people. You train your dog to be an asshole, or you're an asshole, your dog's going to be one too. So there you go. Deal with it. Your problem. And that's how I feel. And I will stand by that because I've never had a bad dog. Ever in my life. And I might be a bitch, but my dogs sure don't know that. Anyway, over here I have a wall of sunflowers. And these are the sunflowers that give you seeds. So as you notice, they're trying to... And I've got a whole wall of them. So when they come up, when the flowers show, I'll probably get on here again going, oh, look how pretty. Sunflower seeds will grow almost anywhere. They are, as a lot of people say, a weed. They will grow almost anywhere. Now you can see the type of stuff that normally grows in the desert. And then I got this wall. So, basically, you might have to help your ground. You need to pick things, any type of vegetable that can grow in full sun and take the heat. And here's the deal, folks. You live in the desert. I don't care if you're in the city of Phoenix. I don't care if you're in Mesa. I don't care if you're in Tucson, Yuma, Yucca. I know Yucca's in California, right? Or Nevada. Sun Valley, Holbrook. Wherever you are, where you have the desert and the heat, you have to water twice a day. If you don't water at least twice a day, and especially when you're talking about, doing stuff like squashes and melons and that kind of stuff, you need to flood it twice a day. If you don't do that, it's not going to live. It's just going to shrivel up and die. It'll look good for a couple days, and then I go, bleh! It needs water. That heat's evaporating it out of the ground. You need to get it in there, and you need to soak it so that it gets enough water. You can see we are trying to put in some grass. That might be... There's jasmine, by the way. My little jasmine tree. A vine. That is a mulberry. And hopefully it's a fruiting mulberry. That'd be nice. Anyway, so you see all this. This is grass that we are attempting, and we started this about 3 weeks ago. We're attempting to get some grass in, but as you can see, it'll take in some places and not in others. But we're working it. Eventually we'll have a little patch of lawn here. And if you're wondering what those little corn are, that is dent corn. It's popcorn. So it grows a little bit differently. That rose is supposed to be a black rose. And I started it from seed. It's not doing anything but growing, but that's okay. It's growing. And it rained last night for the first time in long time. So I have a volunteer something there, so I'm letting it grow to see what happens, because you know what the heck. And Finnegan, our corn's falling over. Why is that corn falling over? I don't know. Okay. Alright. So that is dent corn. And I think it's time to rake up the dog poop. Another lovely thing of life. And by the way, can you see we're finally cleaning it up? We got the barn. Thank you. By the way, these are like rent-to-own barns. You can buy them outright, but you know, for us poor folk, we have to rent to own them. That was a godsend to be able to go through stuff, because when we bought this place, we found out, you know, it was just a junk pile. And it's still a junk pile, but it's getting organized. And what was not saved has been, you know, we were making, you live out in the country and you have to figure this crap out, right? So we have burn barrels for burnable items, but then you always have cans and bottles and all that. And in our area, we don't really have a recycling center. So we finally went, you know, we got to get rid of all this trash. We still have quite a bit of it. But, thankfully, finally, and this is going to show you something, because we got this a week ago. There it is. Yay, trash compact, trash dumpster, whatever. And you can see it's full. Almost. I had that much room. So there it is. This is my end of this video. How to survive in the desert. By the way, if you can, get yourself some chickens. Get yourself in a garden. I grow all of my herbs on the inside. Every single one of them. Because the heat is too much. If you're in the valley trying to do an herb garden outside, God bless you. I hope you have a nice shady spot and you remember to water it constantly. But when you're out in the desert and you know, you can grow them inside. I have herbs in the kitchen. I have herbs in my bay window over there, and I have herbs in my bedroom. You want to grow herbs, by the way. It's not just a matter of flavoring your food. They are packed full of vitamins, and you'll be thankful to have them later. Because with our crap with China, well, our crap with all the rest of the world, there's a lot of spaces. And by the way, if you want cinnamon, stock up. There are certain herbs that we don't grow here, that we can't grow here, that you want to go down to the store and just go ahead and stock up on it, because it's not going to be there later. I don't know what's going to happen, but life is not going back to normal. Whatever you can grow, go ahead and give it a try. It doesn't hurt to try. It's nice to have fresh fruits and vegetables. I'll teach you how to can later on. It's a thing now, man. And if you can have chickens, which most cities allow chickens, you're not allowed to have roosters, which is fine. Chickens lay eggs every day once they start laying, regardless of whether it's fertilized or not. So, have at it, man. You know, what does that hurt? Get like 3 chickens. 3 eggs a day. You'd be surprised. Just a good thing. Plan ahead. Give yourself a head start. Do what you can. And I'll tell you what, this beautiful earth of ours, and it is a beautiful earth that we've been treating really bad for a really long time. She kind of likes it when we put new stuff in the ground. We might have destroyed something, but here's something else. So, I'm going to get my boy. Been gone? Ready? You all have a great day. Love you.